Three, we are ready. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We are Black to Hip Hop once again with Joseph Ward and myself, Monique. I'm a fan. Joseph is the guru. And this week's topic is Bridging the Gap. We know a lot of people start beginning to talk about what we can do to um, improve on Black culture, and a part of that is hip hop. So, talking about some of our where hip hop origins started and how we bridge the gap between knowing the history and what happened to our new artists. That's what our topic is today. So we're gonna get right into it. And Joe, tell me first of all, tell me who are some of the artists that uh, as far as your hip hop history is concerned, need to be people who bridge the gap in the first place? Is there anybody out there that's not doing what they're supposed to do?
Well, I'm not gonna say I don't have definitive information to point out specific people to say, well, this person is not doing what they're supposed to do. But if you ask me, some of the elder statesmen in the game who have good information to give out to the other people, I would start with the KRS Ones being the teacher. You know, he's the teacher. Rakim can do that. I do know Play does that because he teaches the class here at FAMU, so I do know he does that. But Kid and Play would be good advocates for that. MC Light, Queen Latifah, even people like Lauryn Hill, Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem, even the game. Like the game is fully aware of the history and culture of hip hop, and I think when I have new people come into this realm that we've created, fully understand why we do this. It's just not something that's just some fly by night thing that you just get in to get out. Like this is culture. This is us expressing ourselves. This is us telling our stories, and this is us using our mediums to make sure that we get our messages out and as possible. And we just so happen to use poetry and soul music and put that together, which is hip hop. And but I have a problem with two sides. So you got OGs who are mad that the game is the way it is, or these new rappers rapping the way they are, but they not really. You know, I can remember maybe like when if you can remember when the Houston, Texas scene started to really blow up, like as far as the Paul Walls and the Slim Thugs and Mike Jones and all those things there. And you know, you would hear, no, that's for everybody, but for my for my age group and things like that, it wasn't the first, but that was like get that wave, that second and third wave going to people saying, man, well, you got your people saying, well, this ain't real hip hop, and other people saying, well, this is real hip hop. But you know, they would ask OGs in the game, well, what do you think about the state of hip hop? And they were like, well, man, you know, hey, everybody getting money, so I'm cool. As long as you getting money, everything is cool.
But here, you know, here we are now. Now we know hip hop is not that old though.
Right. We still talk about 1976, 72 at the earliest, if you really want, you know. But I'm 32. I was born in 84. Let's say we give hip hop 74. Hip hop be 42. Like 42. So it's still young. It's still young. So seeds still need to be planted. It's not old enough for it to be fizzing out like this is not disco.
Okay.
Or some fly by night thing. This is not disco.
Right.
The seeds need to be planted from one generation to the next. Like the information has to be given, the reality, the sincerity, the realness of why hip hop exists need to be taught from one generation to the next. Now, once again, I can't verify if people are.
Okay, are you still there? No, Joe, you bring up some very good points in terms of hip hop being young, but the seeds still needing to be planted by those who are in there. And at this point, yeah, you're right, they would be considered OGs. I was going through the math in my head with you as you were articulating that, and one of the things you said was it's about, let's say it's about 42 years old, and I realized I'm older than hip hop, so I had to give myself time to think that through myself. But you know, here's the real conundrum here is that, you know, there, because it is so young, you know, it doesn't have anything to offer yet, that they should just be still sowing seeds and so forth. I think we understand that you're right, it's no disco, so that means that you know, because I think disco only lasted maybe 10 years at the most. um, I'm sorry, not even 10 years. And now hip hop is, uh, you know, slated. We're going into its fourth decade. So it's been around a lot longer than the fly by night stuff. I think at this point, the only thing that can happen, because there hasn't been enough of a history there to plant seeds that would create a dynamic change. I think the only thing that is possible is just keep seeding, keep creating more artists, keep creating things, and it will come, which is exactly what it's doing right now. It's just in one of those periods, and I think you and I had probably talked about this in a group. It's just in one of those periods where it's in its downturn. Yeah, you got audio over there. Hey Joe, you got audio? Okay, so we're experiencing a little technical difficulties. Uh, let's see. Oh, I hear you, Joe. You in there?
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just giving.
I'm here. I'm hearing you.
Okay.
I don't know what this thing is doing, but it's acting stupid.
Oh boy. Yeah, I see your feed
I
keeps going in and out.
can hear you, and then the feed stopped.
Okay. Let's
So
see
the
let's see how much
government
more.
don't want us to be great.
Oh, they don't want us to be, no. they gonna they gonna try their best, but it's already written. My ancestors already told me.
They always talking that black stuff. You dang on right, and we're gonna keep on doing it.
Oh boy, won't stop. But anyway, what I was kind of saying was the conundrum of it being so young is that when we start talking about uh, harvesting, I think it's too early yet in the crop, that maybe we still need to be planting seeds, because and that this is a dull period.
I mean, because it's almost as if like they give it to us like hip hop is something that's been around like as long as the blues or gospel or Negro spirituals, and that's not true. Yet those are the roots of hip hop, because in my opinion, hip hop is the culmination of all these uh, black musical forms that were created, and so hip hop is the culmination of that. But got growing to do. Hip hop is a youngin. Like my mama older than hip hop. I mean, just to think about that. My mama older than hip hop. So
I'm older than hip hop.
They got some growing to do. I mean, seeds got to be planted. I mean, but like realistically, like say somebody like even your age range, like think about, yeah, you know a lot. You definitely know a lot, but think about how much more you can learn in 40 more years.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, right. So I mean, it's like we need to give hip hop a chance to grow, but at the same time, we need our teachers to teach, and we need
Mm.
our students to learn. And you're gonna have the little red beads in his head. There's always
I don't know his name.
the little boy with the
So
boot, little Yachty or little Duke,
mm-hmm.
whatever his name is. But
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have people like him saying, "Forget y'all old people. Y'all can't tell us this and this and this. We getting money and all this stuff." I mean, but this is what y'all old heads. That's the foundation y'all set. That's the environment y'all created. Like
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about who the God MCs of the game, or y'all allowing this to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you had before Eminem really got a little foothold. It was like Jay-Z and Nas.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened?
What happened between
I
in
mean,
terms of
because let's say because like early 2000s, even like late 90s, early 2000s, even around the time right before the Jay-Z and Nas beef and a little bit
mm-hmm.
after that, you
Mm-hmm.
know, were like the big dogs in the game, the gods of the recognized gods of the game.
Okay,
You know,
I can take that.
and Eminem came in and got him a little place, and then then you had your 50 Cents and your Nellies and your Kanye's and all those. I'm not saying these guys are like the greatest ever, but I'm just saying let's just be real and recognize at that time, people had their runs. Certain
Mm-hmm.
people had their runs, and so let's look at what happened from '98 till now.
Okay.
Right? Who was in control of this, and how did it go wrong while y'all was in control?
Okay. So let me ask, because this is the caveat too. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference between the industry itself. That corporation, that corporate uh, driver, and then those individuals who are the originator or um, the artist, I guess, per se, the fuel, for the corporate drivers there. But if that's the case, because they weren't, are the originators, were they in control of anything?
Well, they in control of the culture. I mean, they spend more time. Like you got you have a chance to be with the artists and see the artists, because before the industry heads get to the people, the other artists know about them.
Okay.
So it's like you go to a like a show, you get invited to the studio and Jay-Z there, and you the next, and people in the streets are saying you the next hot thing. You just haven't been signed to a major label yet, or you just starting to catch wind. Major labels just starting to catch wind of you, but definitely like the hottest rapper in the street know about you.
Okay.
So they know about you, and let's say y'all have a chance. Always going to be a chance for them to be in the same place and information to be exchanged.
Okay.
I'm saying, like I said earlier, let's just say hypothetically the OGs are doing that and people are rejecting. I mean, that could be happening, but
yes.
But when I say how did it go, what went wrong? The guys at the game, y'all supposed to be in control. I mean, I understand they're not in control of the industry part, but they still in control of the cultural aspect and some of the street influences. Because in the beginning, if the streets don't co-sign you, you're nothing.
Okay. I don't know that I agree with you on that.
Okay.
I don't know. I
That's
don't
that.
know that I agree that they control the culture. And I think there's a bigger picture here that we should be looking at, and what in our culture of individualism, our culture of making it out of moving on up. We got to make it up out of something. We got to achieve something, and even sometimes you'll hear people say, achieve out of oppression. That's how black people gonna make it. We're gonna achieve out of there, even though we know that's not to be true. And you'd have to think those artists were indoctrinated with that message as well. So the culture they're creating is just going towards individualism and making more money. And you know, there's not a social component there that would say that they would do anything otherwise. They just coaching other. I bet they sitting around talking about distributors and the business end of it. Uh, who's doing what, major makers and stuff like that on the business end. But are they sitting around talking about the impact of their music socially?
That's what I'm saying though. Like, and when I say control the culture, like example, Jay-Z told everybody to stop wearing throwbacks and wear button ups. It was done.
Mm.
I mean, and being able to look at things now, like and Rihanna is not necessarily hip hop, but look how many boys and girls walk around with the tattoo on the little solar plex. Yeah, but because of course I'm not saying that they are true representations of the culture. I'm not necessarily saying that across the board, but when I'm saying they controlling the culture, they controlling them like on the grassroots underground level when the artist is trying to make it. Artists, the artists that are the legends, these are the ones that they're looking up to. So whatever these people are making cool or whatever these people are backing, this is what the new artists are looking at. Now you have few artists who are willing to take their own roads, and you can see the results of that, great music. But as far as the control, like it's a lot of people just trying to fit in, like, because the game has changed now, because it used to be a time where everybody find their lane, but even still then that's the artists have more control of the culture. But it's not necessarily, like I say, when I say control the culture, not necessarily that's a good thing, but they in essence do control what people wear, they control what people say, they control how people think, they control what cars you drive, they control how you listen to your music, whether you drive slow, whether you drive fast. All those things there are things that are manipulated by these artists that people idolize, and the reason why they have that control is because they're being idolized. And like I say, not saying that that's a good thing, but right now, if Beyonce, if Jay-Z and Beyonce come out simultaneously and say, do this, people gonna do it. Like the truffle butter song. You got people sticking their things in people's booty and putting it in the girl vagina, and got a bunch of girls running around getting bacterial vaginosis because somebody made a song.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff like that.
Okay. And we all know that that talks to a part of the culture. So I think that basically we're not asking them to, because we know that they're promoting something, but we're not asking them to necessarily start the movement to create a culture. We're asking them to change it from what it is.
Right.
Because I
mean, it has to be changed because a foundation has already been set of what hip hop should be. So we need to get back to that.
Okay. Yeah, and you're right on that level. I just don't know. Like I said, with them, basically they're a brand now. They understand that. Somebody like Jay-Z has been able to keep his brand alive through business ventures and other stuff. So he's really diving into the, more into the individualism. And I know he does stuff. I'm not gonna, bash him. This is not about bashing Jay-Z on what he does for the community, but we know he's not thinking collectively and collect group economics and
of course,
yeah, right. So
that's why
so my point is about the indoctrination of that. How that would impact them from teaching right now. I just don't know that I want. We said it. We basically just said that we wouldn't want. We don't that message that they're peddling. We don't want it.
Well, right, but see, and then that's why I'm saying, and that's why we're talking about this, like hip hop, like the reason why the music is what it is today, because the information was not passed down, because the people who were supposed to pass the information down decided not to pass the information down because they agendas. And so that's how we get to what we get, because how do you bridge the gap with no builders?
Mm. Mm.
If people are not willing to give real game, if people are not willing to really and we understand culture changes and aspects of culture change, but if you're not trying to keep the real aspects and the reason why and give the history, and give the history of it, you're gonna have what we have now.
So how much do you think that would impact censorship? Especially if we're talking about social engineering within the hip hop medium. There are going to be artists who are going to feel stifled by any type of limitations. Period. They feel like, hey, I'm an artist. All I'm supposed to do is create. Um, you know, if we talk about the message that we want to receive from hip hop, then they're going to get up in arms about that. And they do. We see them all the time lash out about that. Like you don't care.
It's like it's the same. It's like you can't get mad at people for doing something. Spend time teaching them different.
Right.
It's like stop trying to scold people when it's not your place to scold them. It's like you mad at the, like, let's take it more local. Like people are mad that the kids in the hood look up to rappers and athletes, but the same people who mad at that don't spend no time with the kids. So you mad that the culture is watered down, but you not necessarily the culture stay rich, stay pure.
Right.
I mean, what are you doing? I mean, are you just old man, the angry old curmudgeon that's sitting on the porch, or are you actually taking time with some of the youth and talking to them? If they reject you, they reject you, but at least you put your best foot forward.
Yeah, absolutely. You set an example, a precedence for how, some standards, some codes. We got all kind of things, cracking the concrete, levels to this. That's the PAX Inc. Black Codes for Social Engineering. And they speak to these some of these standards that probably need to be implemented through hip hop, because that reaches. You talked about the impact that it does by reaching into those communities, if we could actually get hip hop to focus on some of the historical things that have happened and the impact of those in their music, I think people would get a lot more interested in history itself, period. Not just the history of hip hop, but the history of us all around. So when you start talking, go ahead.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, you got to be creative. We have to get off our high horse and try to. That's why I try to do On Shoulders Giants. My idea with On Shoulders Giants is a mixture of hip hop and history. Being able to create the mediums, like my videos. To me, my videos are songs. When I write out my information, like I got my beat in mind. Like I try to match the beat with the energy that comes from the pictures, because everything has to flow smoothly, kind of putting together like a song. But you got to find outside of the box ways to teach these kids this history. I mean, like the kids would enjoy the history once they get into it, but it's just the ways of presenting it to them got to be we got to do different, and people got to get off their high horse and just think, well, you should like this because you're black. Nah, it ain't like that. Everybody don't wake up the same. And these kids ain't the same as us.
We got flavor.
Realize, I mean, the things that made us move when we were in our teens and 20s, not the same thing that make these kids move in their teens and 20s right now. So we need to be honest with ourselves about that. Stop acting like these kids got to like exactly what I used to like and my granddaddy used to like. I don't even, man, please. You probably don't even like what your granddad used to like. Get off that.
Oh no,
but
for sure.
It's, if you use the music, right? I mean, look at what J. Cole doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like J. Cole is he's gonna go down as one of those cats that everybody say, man, I feel J. Cole. Like I felt this music, and because he's not the technically flashy rapper, he's not gonna give you those fast cadences and all those things there. But J. Cole gonna speak to your soul. He got it. Kendrick got it. Big Crit got it. You know, I would say cats out to sing like the Lecrae cat. He seemed like he got it, and you know, some cats seem like they understand the history and they understand what we supposed to be doing here with hip hop. But cats, I mean, I ain't trying to be mean, but it looked like they went to a special ed class and just said who wanted to rap, and they told their mamas, look, that's 4 times bigger than this special ed check you getting. So let your son come say what we want to say. Because I mean, really, that's what it seems like. But well, I mean, you know,
that's real right there. So I know how you feel about some of the new stuff, and you know, that speaks to what we're saying. You know, we're somebody buying it though. Right. Somebody's purchasing it. Somebody's listening, and you know, that kind of thing. And we're not going to. I know I don't necessarily listen to some of the stuff that you know. It's a rap song could be 3 seasons old when by the time it gets to me, and you know, it's not even popular anymore. And I run out and tell my daughters, "Hey, Lily, have you heard this song, man? This is crap." And they be like, "Ma, that came out 2 years ago." So, so it's reaching the audiences that you know, it's supposed to reach. And I, you know, again, if they're planting those seeds, then you know, our harvest is not due up yet. You know what I'm saying? Anything that we're gonna harvest with hip hop, it's not harvest season just yet. That's kind of my take on where we stand in terms of the hip hop culture, where it's going, where it's shifting, where it has came from. It's just not harvest time yet.
Right. It's just. You're right. I mean, harvest time is not here. I do think seeds are being planted, though. I do like I said before. You know, hip hop isn't dead; it just went underground. You know, seeds got to be buried to grow again. So when you go underground, I mean, hey, that's that rejuvenation process. It's all gonna come back around. It's all gonna get back. The balance gonna come back, but we also come within our culture as Black people as well, because the music reflects us. The music comes from us, and the music is sick because we're sick.
Yeah, okay.
It's that people are missing. You know, that's one thing people are missing when they talk about the quality of the music that we have right now. Look at the cultural shifts and waves and things that we had in the 90s. And look at what we had like the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know, what things that we were into,
right?
And what was going on now. You know, black pride was. I'm not gonna say an all-time high, but I remember that black pride in the 90s. I remember the medallions. You know, I remember I remember all that from the 90s, but it's just the consciousness of the people was a little different in the 90s. And
well, yeah, because I was rocking my You know, my faux leather, you know, African necklaces, RBG, you know, buying, we were even buying overalls and painting them, you know, red, black, and green back then. So it definitely had a social component to it.
Right. I mean, those cultural, like, music comes from the people. People produce the music, and the environments that the people come in affect the music that they make. The place into the people affect the music. The the um the lessons that go into people affect the music that they make. You know, so a person who just a person who just went through a track could put together a classic album, but so could a person who just got into a relationship.
Okay.
All come it all comes, perspective and things like that, because um this one way and I would talk this one way. I mean, the different on where we are in our minds, our mindsets as people, and our culture where we are. That's going to affect the product that's put out as far as the music. And until that has to change, we have to make a change in the way we live as people as well, and that can't be overlooked.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. So definitely, a social engineering component has to come with, if I'm understanding you right, has to come from outside of hip hop, the industry, the artists, and push that change. Am I correct, or do you think? Because actually, yeah, you're right. Because then we're producing young artists or children that have been exposed to a cultural, you know, something different culturally, and then they'll become artists, and then collectively change the message that hip hop would produce. So definitely, I get that. Is that where you were uh, alluding to?
All of everything, all of that goes into it. Like all of that goes into the, our culture, our hip hop, our music, the way we express ourselves, why we express ourselves, how we express ourselves, who we express ourselves to, how they receive. All that is based off the program that we're given. The cultural programming can't be underestimated.
Hmm.
Like the conditions, like Kendrick Lamar got was totally different from the program that boy got,
Hmm.
right? Because like they're I don't know how old they are, but they both considered new rappers. Of course, Lil Yachty a little newer than Kendrick, but for Kendrick, like for Kendrick to even wherewithal to be in the booth with George Clinton.
Hmm.
No, George Clinton just won a Grammy off this for working with Kendrick off this last album. But think about it, like George Clinton has influenced so many generations of hip hop. You're not hip hop if you don't like P funk. You just not hip hop. From the PEs to the and to the out. Everybody was on like P man. Look, if you ain't down with the P funk, you ain't real.
Right.
It's just the fact that Kendrick Lamar will have that, or like Big Crit will to be so into the history. He got a song with BB King.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, Jake, he don't have bitches like that.
Right.
From what I know, I'm not been listening to a lot of music as much as I should. As a couple whatever, but J Cole get on the track by
And can you still hear me? Yeah, and we know that birds of a feather flock together too. So, those artists, will inspire artists to emulate them. And those artists will come together and start doing projects that are more geared toward positive uh, social engineering. And so there's hope, and it's not actually hope. We know that there's cycles in music, and what we hope to end, where we hope to end up at, is that hip hop has longer stretches of positive social impact on black communities in particular, because that's where it originated at. And so yeah, as we groom more artists like that, there's going to be another shift in hip hop towards where we were, like you said, in the '90s. That was a real fun time. Public Enemy. If I wasn't thinking, listen, if it could have reached me, I was growing up in the white suburbs of Ohio, uh, and Public Enemy and NWA, it was reaching me, then absolutely we'll be able to see that same impact with when the shift changes to a more positive social engineered product being produced by hip hop. So I look forward to that. In the meantime, people like you and I got to put in work on other avenues of consciousness. Other avenues of reaching people and talking to them about some of the things that we're trying to do. There's We have a good push and effort being done by Professor Carl Tone Jones out of Philadelphia to
Right.
build or to actually create a documentary that talks to the shared vision of realizing what a independent black community would encompass. And he always gives a really great analogy about that in regards to some of America's lofty goals or goals in terms of living on Mars one day, even though right now they don't even have an atmosphere. Uh,
Right.
yeah. So, and then all the messaging and images that are going out to create the minds that are going to generate that possibility one day. And that's a big deal for someone in the black conscious community to be thinking on that level and moving them forward. So we got to show this brother our support in terms of donating, in terms of donating your time to the effort, because this is all for us. And it's going to be something fantastic. So that's you can always go to hashtag Black Independence or Die or Project Independence. One of the other hashtags I've been using is the Independence Day Project. Um, and everything will come up with that. Professor Carl also has his office hours that he does. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. That's Professor Carl Tone Jones on YouTube. Office hours with him. So, and we got in our esteemed host here. I can't wait for December the 25th, man. I'm like, hey,
Damn.
yeah.
Got my
I,
flyer. It's gonna be backwards, but I don't care. I got my flyer. But yeah, also let me add to it too. Like you were saying about the Independence Day Project, make sure y'all visit www.wau, W as in A as in apple, U as in ugly, WAU, whataboutus.com. Yeah, they're gonna remember that one. We
yes.
www.wau, whataboutus.com. But once again, December 25th, website www.ontheshoulders1.com, and that's on the shoulders one. That one is the number one, on the shoulders1.com. Visit my website. My app, my African history curriculum app is dropping December 25th. So make sure you go and support that. Also, you can get a copy of my book, It's Volume 1, North America. Now, I keep forgetting to say this, but there's also a interactive PDF workbook that accompanies my book that can be used on smartphones, on tablets, in classrooms, at home. It's interactive PDF book, and it's learn the characters in the book, and it's something that the family can use. Like I said, you can do it if you homeschool. You can do it. You can do it on your phone, on the trip, or something like that. And the same with this app. This app is going to come equipped with over 500 questions, over 100 quizzes, over 100 people profile. The app is going to update regularly, so it's never going to get old. You're never going to like run out of information, because it's going to always be updating about it. And if you sit down and finish this, then you got a lot of free time.
Oh my goodness. I admit, every time I get a little bit of piece of free time, I go ahead, because the app is on my it's right on my front desk screen on my phone. So whenever I open my phone, the app is there. I be like, hey, you know what? Let me go check out something. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like 10 times smarter every time I go to that app. And you know, get some information off there and make me want to. It makes me hungry for more information each time. So I just keep going back and back. So it's been my pleasure doing it. I like it. Yeah, so get the message out there, everybody. On the Shoulders one, you can get the volume one on the shoulders1.com. You can get the book volume 1. I picked up that book. I'm anticipating volume 2 to be out real soon as well. Correct?
Yeah. No, well, we know 2017 between March and May. 2017 between March and May. That's when we're gonna get the volume 2 out. I got some things that we're working on behind the scenes that I really want to be able to go into volume 2 to kind of give it a little spice. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll wait for a good product now. We ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad about that, you know.
Well, see, the thing is, well, you know, we got the app coming out on the 25th. And then the website is dropping. The website will be launched to the public on my nonprofit website, because On the Shoulders Giants is now a nonprofit organization. So our nonprofit website is going to launch on January 1st. That's the nonprofit website launch. And then, you know, we got the Independence Day project coming out. And then we got this PAX calendar that we still trying to. And then we got this PAX curriculum that be coming as African American history curriculum. So we got a lot coming.
Yes.
We got a lot coming. So
2017, Black the Way You Came. Everybody, every schoolroom, every Black empowerment meeting, everywhere you can think of, that calendar should be posted. 2017. Look for it, y'all. What else you got, Joe, over there working on? That's the hardest working man in Black empowerment right now.
Shoot, I'm trying to look, man. I know what I want to do. I know my focus. I know my passion. I know my lane. So I'm just trying to do what I was put here to do. But we also remember freedomtrainradio.com. Make sure you check out the Freedom Train podcast series. As we interview various people throughout the country, especially Black people throughout the country who are making significant to the African diaspora, specifically here in America, for Black people in America, uplift Black people. So definitely want y'all to check us out, www.freedomtrainradio.com. Hey man, follow me on Instagram. I don't never say this. Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get my Instagram followers up. Everybody got like 1,000 followers. I got like 400 some. I feel bad. I got more posts than followers on Instagram. Hey man, y'all follow me at On the Shoulders 1 on Instagram, man. Twitter, I might take my shirt off if you follow me. I don't know.
All right. Ooh. But no. On the show, y'all heard it. On the Shoulders 1 Instagram. Y'all get there.
Right. What else? And who else is doing something? What else we got coming out in the camp?
We're working on a few things, and I think some things we can talk about, some things we can't. Because we're doing some. We just gave y'all a real rundown resume right there, y'all. Y'all, this is really good info. Y'all getting right there to let you know where we coming from. This is not just about hip hop. This is bigger than hip hop. So. But the reality is, all these projects that we're working on, we putting in time, and that means that we so love our community that this is how important this is to us. Time, money, resources, brain power, everything is going into this. So we care about y'all. So on that note, let's wrap it up for the evening. Give them that Instagram one more time, Joe.
At On the Shoulders One. Y'all follow me on Instagram. Tell your friend to follow me. Your friend to follow me on Instagram at On the Shoulder One. And do it. I mean, hip hop is my lover, and I'm practicing monogamy. Let's make sure we preserve the culture. Let's make sure we give our kids something to look forward to. Because 50 years from now, when they look back and they had to do the old school music thing, well, they can't be having no sons by eating no booty, man. Come on, we gotta do better than that. Gotta do better than that.
Y'all heard it right there. Black to hip hop. We
Yes.
out.